All right, welcome back in. What's up, fellas?
What's up, Mr. Walker? Welcome back.
Hey, man, how are you?
Good. Doing good. How are
First
you?
and foremost, I want to just thank you for sitting in this chair and captaining the ship. I understand it went very, very well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I
enjoyed following your escapades.
Yep, I think I would like to take that hat off your head and burn it, and you can go to hell for that. But you did a great job in my absence, and thank you for that. So I am back. Brandon Walker is back in the main chair. I know somebody who doesn't give a fuck about that. That is Marty Mush to my left.
How we doing? How we doing?
Why did you say it like that?
I don't give a fuck that
Correct.
you're back.
Yes, and Big Ev, who also does not give a shit that I'm back.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, man. How are you?
What's up, pal?
How are things going?
Hanging in there.
Did y'all have a good time with Mints?
Yeah, had a great time with Mintz, always.
Yeah.
Dad was out of town.
Mintz is my boss now.
That's what you told
we got a
me.
new dad, and he's like stepdad.
I do like that Mintz was giving you guys homework to bring in here and get ready
boss.
every day. That's probably a better idea than the way I do it, which is just let you show the fuck up.
Yeah, but I got things.
You got things?
I always got things.
Are you prepared for today?
Yeah.
Give me one thing right now.
Duke's gonna absolutely kill
That
someone.
you bring that every time they play. That's not new.
I love Pitt at 3. That's why
Dude,
I'm a little scared.
man, I loved it. And then Capel's like 1-9 in conference tournament games.
Yeah, but
I you know what I love? I love that today, not as much, but starting tomorrow, it's just going to be that blitz of basketball
Buffet.
all day long.
A buffet. It's just a buffet.
let me ask you something. Thursday morning is 11:30 a.m. West Virginia, Oklahoma State.
That's a fantastic
Wow.
game.
30
Yeah.
in
During the
morning.
show.
That's a quarterfinal game.
Yeah, no, that's it's going to be great. And you got every tournament, every conference tournament, especially these big ones like I guess 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, the Big East tournament was the great thing. But now I think the Big Ten and the Big 12 are the two tournaments I'm most excited about, just seeing who survives those wars.
There's so much depth in those
I'm
conferences.
excited for I'm excited for those tournaments as like a fan, but gambling wise, I really feel like
It's terrifying?
Yeah, well, gambling wise, those are terrifying. But I think we can actually hit some good futures on like the Big East and SEC. Also, Mincy's future doesn't count, right?
For what?
We said we don't count futures.
No, we count futures.
No, for the plaque.
So,
Yeah, because if you hit them, it skis it so bad.
It's
and
time
like
to
losing a unit on that isn't fair to you either.
It's time to revisit the plaque wars anyway, because the plaques are gone. I'm buying us a championship belt that the champion will be able to bring in here and set it on in front of himself every day, because the plaque is just a one-time thing, and Kareem fucked up the plaques for everybody by cheating. So we're gonna reinvest. We're gonna buy us a championship belt, and the champion will be able to wear that belt for a month before he hands it over.
Okay, I like
And I think the rules, because remember last year when we were first doing the show, we said futures won't count except for the year end. We got to the year end, and I won it, and nope, we didn't say anything about the year end. Like, we didn't make a big deal. We didn't do a plaque, so the year end really didn't matter. We're just going month to month. So I guess there's no reason not to count futures. I think we should count futures, especially in March Madness. If you hit a future, it's not like saying in 6 months I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. If you say a conference tournament, you're picking it on Monday, and it's either true or not on Sunday.
Yeah, but it's just like if he wins, that's a 50-1. What is good? It's great, but it's also
Well, I guess
like,
there's no. Yeah, you're right. If you take it just a 5,000-1, just on the off chance you hit it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
one
ends
unit.
Well, there's
It's
no.
Is there any way
like you're not putting? I doubt you're putting on it what you put on a normal game.
I wish there was any way I
That's
could put like
50 to 1,
0.5 units. Could I put half a unit? But then it gets complicated. to
Yeah, that's
track.
why I think futures is like it's good.
I wish
give
we
it
could do
out.
like a futures competition that was separate, where we each take long shots or something. I don't know.
I
But
think this week. Oh, okay, maybe we should have this understanding that we're all going to take futures this week. It will count for March Madness, and then maybe we'll revisit for later.
I kind of like the just let's just all pick we pick one future of the Power 5.
I got 2 though.
I think it's fun for these big.
No,
I like
one-
taking these
one
really big
each-
long shots. They
one-
just can catch fire looking at the brackets.
Let's do this. Let's do a snake draft of the Power 5.
You know what? Maybe it's just my shout out to the Chicago boys. Snake drafts always work.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been more in when he
Lit-
said snake.
You say snake draft, I'm just in.
America sucks off fucking lists or snake drafts.
Have
And
they
trivia.
and brackets.
And brackets.
Have they ever done? Have Chicago ever done snake drafts of snakes?
No, that's a miss. I feel like. I feel like
they
should
need
that.
to do a snake draft.
Yeah, but don't you think we should do so we start with Big East and Big Ev will start and then he gets to pick his.
Oh, so we're gonna do it. I thought it would be
because I
all.
think-
I think you have to put all the conferences in the same pool.
Yeah, no,
and
it
you
is.
pick
Yeah,
your
it is.
best.
I was just an
Well,
example.
because I don't want to lose mine.
No, I'm saying
No,
that
I
was
told you what
I'm
mine
sorry,
is.
that was an example of who I want.
What are examples?
What?
Yeah. Let's see. Arthur L says, I don't want to live in a world where I can't comment on B-Walk's rack. You can comment on my rack. It's fine. I'm working on it. And Dana was very mean. I put up a picture of me not having titties 2 years ago. I got hired at Barstool. All of a sudden, I got titties. I think that's Barstool's fault. I think I should be able to.
Did you see Dan when he first started?
Yeah, well, he's gone from tits to no tits to tits to no tits.
Dan was one of the most fit people you ever seen when he first started.
Yeah, but then every 6 months he gets back to that.
Yeah, once you blog and it goes downhill.
Well, you've never blogged.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm skinny.
All right, let's see. A Ric Flair style robe says Herschel Rickman would be great. Doesn't take up any space. So would you rather have a championship robe that you wear on the show every? We could do a jacket.
The robe isn't.
Do like a
bad.
bowler's jacket.
It's not a bad play.
All right.
The robe would be cool.
The robe, yeah. Every time.
Can you
somebody
play
has to put it on you.
2001 Space Odyssey walking in?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
a belt might be
I think
exhausting.
we can afford
every
that,
time.
but
That's
Belt's
tough to
awesome.
put. The belt's cool, but did you?
Also, the photo op with it will be so sick if you win.
yeah.
Think about Rico's goofy ass holding the plaque or holding the fucking belt over your.
I'm a
shoulder.
belt fan.
But the jacket's
Yeah.
pretty sick too.
Jacket's cool, but I think this is. A belt's awesome.
We got the money to do both.
I'm in on both.
Who's got the money?
We Barstool's got the money. They just
Barstool does. Yeah, not us.
they sent me to Florida for nothing. No, I got drunk with Al Snow Saturday night. You don't know who that is?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Hardcore champ.
Yeah, I got
Him and Hardcore Holly
I
back
was
in the
sitting
day.
in the hotel bar getting drunk with Al Snow for 3 hours. It was fun. I don't get drunk, but I got drunk that night.
By yourself?
I was
Al Snow.
sitting with Al Snow.
And just
So it was your first time being drunk since that wedding or whatever, and you got
No.
2004?
This is no. I didn't really get drunk. I drank like a peach gin cocktail, like 9 of them, and it wasn't very alcoholic.
You ordered a peach gin with the wrestler.
Yeah.
Couldn't have.
What was Al Snow
you have
drinking?
What
to
did he drink? A Bud Heavy?
Al Snow was drinking double bourbon neat.
Yeah,
Love
That's
that.
So
that's
So
precisely.
he sat
He was
down and said, "Give
definitely-
me a double bourbon neat." And you're like, "Can I get a peach
Can I get
gin,
that?
please?
Can I get that pink thing over there? Yeah.
You gotta at least just swallow your pride and be like, "Yeah."
Let
give
me tell
a
you something,
gin.
Marty. I have, when it comes to drinking, I have no pride. I'm not gonna. I think pride in drinking or trying to be a man about drinking is the dumbest thing we do as a society. Drink what you want to drink. I thought the peach tasted good, so I drank the peach.
You didn't even like it.
I loved it.
Oh, you did
It
like
was very good. I don't think it was very much alcohol in it. It was,
for sure.
yeah, it was just kind of a sugary,
Did they put
juicy
an umbrella
drink.
in it?
What?
They put an umbrella in it.
No. They put a lime on the side, on the edge of it. Yeah, and we talked about head all night.
And what does everybody want?
Head. That was his gimmick.
Yeah, I remember it.
He was the head guy,
Oh, nice.
Carried around a mannequin head.
but he liked to talk about head.
Yeah.
You like head?
I enjoy head.
Getting or receiving?
What?
Either one.
Don't be like that.
What?
We're talking about a mannequin head. We're not talking about.
I don't even know who the
fellatio.
fuck Al Snow
Yeah,
is.
who's
We're not
Al
talking
Snow?
about. Okay.
Al Snow sounds like
guys
a
ruined
Al Snow
this one.
sounds
You
like
don't know
old,
anything.
like an old sports writer.
Al Snow, like you say, Al.
You
Snow,
know that was good.
No
He
one's
does-
getting.
Al
Wasn't
Snow-
bad. That wasn't bad.
No one gets excited about Al Snow anymore.
I do. I bet
I'm
Mitzi
happy
would.
for
I
him.
remember, that was back when I was really into the Attitude Era, when he was.
I'm happy
Yeah.
for
That
him.
was-
He was
I
a
into
big
it.
star in the '90s,
I was into it then.
just like Mike Krzyzewski, and they're both finished now.
They're not both finished.
Fair.
People know who my Coach K is.
Some do.
Everyone does.
All right. Let's see. Marty doesn't get head, says Mason Mikowski. And
It's true.
trust me, definitely somebody named Mason Mikowski commenting on YouTube at 12:30 is probably somebody that gets a lot of it. All right, we got a lot to talk about. Let's talk some sports, and then when we get to some picks and all that. Because one thing, Mincy, I believe you did, you interspersed the picks throughout the show, and people like that a little bit more as opposed to me doing it all at the end.
I think we did it like about 10, like about 45 or 40, just so people could kind of explain their logic. And then, I mean, I'll be honest, the last couple minutes we kind of had to fill, but
Yeah.
I think, but people just like the explanations a little bit.
Well, we're in conference tournament week, and we're still less than 4 weeks into the show, so we're still feeling it out and deciding what it's going to be and figuring it out.
It's a little the non-commercial and that break in the middle, kind of not having it does make the design a little different.
So I am playing Ben Mintz in ping pong today, and this proves once and for all that Hank, who runs Stool Streams, who runs it, is crazy. Like, what's he doing? I can't beat him in ping pong.
Yeah, no, but that's not. It's still like people have the chance to do the score.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to give away any information, but if you're playing Play Barstool today, pick Mintz to win 2-9 because that's what's going to happen. All I know in ping pong is just I can get it back, but I don't do any winners.
Yeah.
Don't you have a ping pong table?
I do have
I feel like you're sandbagging right now.
Oh, no, not even a little
I
bit.
play with you. You were bad when we
But
played.
the problem is
Shit out of me.
I have a ping pong table, but my competition at home is a 12-year-old girl, 10-year-old boy, 8-year-old boy.
And doesn't she like beat you?
I mean, but I play down. I let her compete with me. Yeah, but
Do you?
that's why. Why are you doing this?
I just feel like
What are you gaining by doing this?
I just feel like your daughter is better than you.
she's her and I are very similar levels because I'm not gonna try to kill her. What would I do that for?
That's wrong. You should try and kill her. You shouldn't. Don't ease up.
Don't have kids.
Don't ease up. Whack. You know.
Oh, against the boy, sure, but I'm trying to give my 12-year-old girl confidence in this world that's out to get her.
No, make her build it up and beat dad.
I picture Brandon making his son do like the Tyler Hansborough thing. Remember they did that bit ESPN thing? They play like ping pong, and if you lose, they let you just smack the shit out of one square at your bare back.
You ever do it with your friends? It's very fun.
Mike David says it's Tuesday. Is Rico breaking his contract by not being here? It's a fair question.
Oh, man, he just asked again. Are you guys free April 8th for Peter Luger's dinner?
What?
For like a bench mob. It was like it's March 7th. Whatever.
What's he? That's the day after the national title game or close to it.
It's like
a couple days after.
A week after, yeah.
So he's just going to celebrate. Okay, all right. Well, I
I
like that.
It's fine. Just tell him. He keeps asking me if I'm free. I have no idea if
You don't know what you're doing on March 8th.
Yeah,
we don't live that same life. We just go day by
calendar,
day.
What's
yeah.
today?
It's March 9th.
Okay, so you probably do know what you did on March 8th. Zach Cross says, good to see Brandon back. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. Cody Walsh says, parenting advice from Marty Mush. Yikes. As much as I hate when grown men say yikes, I think it's the saddest thing you can do.
Yikes
2
is
things
bad.
on the internet what you shouldn't say. Never say yikes because you look like a cartoon character.
I say it sometimes.
And never say cringe. If you say, ooh, that's cringe, what a bitch you are. Nobody talks like that in real life.
Yeah, cringe is just people just know that gets a reaction out of people.
I think the cringiest thing that people can do is write the word cringe.
Well, I noticed on mine, and people do it to Brandon, I've noticed some too, but like when I go real hard at videos and look like an idiot, people are like, oh, that's so cringe. And my response is, if I'm not making you cringe, I'm not trying hard enough, damn it.
There you
Fair
go.
enough.
There
Fair
you
enough.
go.
The Barstool way.
Amber Kelly says you're not doing anyone any favors by not beating your kids at games.
Facts.
We're going to turn this into a parenting lesson now from Amber Kelly. And
Facts, Amber. Beat the shit
and
out of your
Marty
kids
Mush?
in games.
I'm
That's
playing-
why we get participation trophies now, because our kids need
You
to
are
win.
Mr. Participation Trophy.
If one's available.
That's why the SEC's got 8 people on the first team. Just
yeah, that was sad.
participation. That's crazy.
I said it's sad.
I'm looking at Brandon.
Oh,
What's crazy?
The SEC has 8 people on the first team.
I didn't
all-SEC
do it.
team.
What are you talking to me for?
Yeah, but it's one of those things like how, like, for example, Ohio State gets waxed in the national championship game. Dave holds me responsible. Anything happens to the SEC, I hold you responsible.
Well, I am Mr. SEC.
I'm looking at you. I'm saying, B. Walker SEC. I'm saying, what's the deal?
I don't know if you are anymore because you wanted that out of your name, right?
I'm looking to get that out of my name.
Barstool B-Walk, maybe?
I don't know. We're talking. We got some things working behind the scenes.
I see Brandon.
Jack's handling it for me.
I see Brandon just wanting like just a plain at Brandon Walker.
I want Brandon Walker.
I know that's what he
Or
wants.
at BFW.
Yeah, something like that. That's what I want. I want to get the SEC because I've got SEC in my name, and everybody says, "Oh, he's an SEC." I'm really not. Like I know there are SEC homers in the world. I'm really not. Like if Ohio State's gonna be better than Alabama, I'll tell you that. It's rare that anybody's better than Alabama, but that's a bad example.
I have an SEC question for you. With what's happened at LSU in the last week and a half while you've been gone, has LSU replaced Ole Miss as the morally bankrupt institution in the Southeastern Conference?
Oh, absolutely not, because they're not having Klan rallies on campus.
Oh.
But Ole Miss still is. So no, they haven't. I will say this, jokes aside. how does LSU keep skating? How does LSU keep skating on everything? So Les Miles last night, this happened at like midnight, right? It was announced that Kansas and Les Miles are parting ways because of the report coming out of LSU that it's like a 7 or 8 year old report that,
he was creepy with students.
Creepy with female students. There's been some sexual assault issues inside the LSU program with other players. There's been all kind of. Then there's a children's hospital. Like LSU is kind of making like 1980s Miami look like choir boys, and nobody talks about it on a national stage.
It's weird. Mark Emmert, who's the head of the NCAA, is LSU's old chancellor, and I find that to be an interesting coincidence. I'm just throwing that out there. That's an interesting coincidence, little bit. He went to LSU, then Washington.
Yeah. But
it just doesn't make sense. Like the Ole Miss fans are saying, and rightfully, like we got in trouble over $10K to Leo Lewis, and they get caught with all this stuff. And but
that's a lie.
That's a tip.
You got in trouble for a lot more than that.
Well, regardless of that, it's just LSU's really playing with fire, and like, do they just get away with it all the time?
It is crazy. They just won a national title last year. They've had scandal after scandal after scandal, and it feels like they have just been sliding by. Now, I know this might step on your toes, and maybe you agree with it. Especially the print media down in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, they're not going to do anything to bother LSU football.
Ross Dellinger's been going a little hard at him now.
Ross is Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, but he was covering LSU back then. He's kind of.
So Les Miles now fired at Kansas. Yes, what?
No. Do you know like reporters' names? Really?
I've heard the name Ross Dellinger.
That is a national college football reporter.
I've heard the name. I don't like follow him or anything. I know if you said his name, I know.
I had no problem with
it. But that's similar to knowing John Rothstein's name.
Okay, that's why. I have no problem with it. I don't really care much for college football, but
college basketball, John Rothstein's name.
Yes.
So that's very simple. Andy Katz, stuff like that.
Deal.
I was gonna say, I just think with the scandals, I feel like there's just like a cutoff of like power, where it's like Ole Miss is kind of like just slightly below that power of getting you in trouble. Where like you hear all this stuff with Georgia too, like they're not coming for Georgia either.
North Carolina's fake classes.
Yep, like they get hammered in football because they're like below. There's like a line. If
you're like a blue blood, you're like a.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
You guys got drilled for fake tattoo for free tattoos.
People just love to come at Ohio State.
I don't think that's true, but I think.
And I think it was. We also didn't get like. We kind of didn't get hammered, I guess. See, for me, that's kind of before the time where it would hit my heart. I wasn't an Ohio State fan when that happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just see so much as where it's like, I think it was, what's his name? Tarkanian used to always say it at UNLV. He'd be like Missouri Valley State get hammered, so Kentucky can get away with all their shit.
Right. Yeah. What Kentucky did was so bad that Eastern Missouri is going to get
exactly like just kind of like hammer the lower guys. Where Ole Miss isn't like low, but they're kind of below that. They're not a blue blood.
No, they're not Alabama, LSU, Florida, or anybody. Yeah. No, I agree. It's crazy because I enjoyed watching Ole Miss get hammered, but the truth of the matter is that nobody's, they didn't do anything Alabama and Georgia weren't doing or still aren't doing. So, but, I have to be able to separate my personal feelings, and I'm not capable of doing that. Les Miles fired at Kansas, though. That's the big story.
Well, and one other thing on Miles, everybody actually gets fired for this 2013 thing. He's going to win as many games this fall being unemployed as he did last fall at Kansas coaching.
Yeah.
0-9.
Yeah, no, you're right, but he was still in his second year. I was able to give him a pass in his second year. Third year, he would need to start picking it up, but now he's not going to get the third year. Les Miles is out, and we'll see what Kansas does. Does anybody care what Kansas football
does? Bring Mark Mangino back for their glory days. They won an Orange Bowl with him.
I mean, that's just not real.
But they did.
No, it's not.
2007.
It wasn't about what you said.
Right. Remember when Kansas and Missouri met late in the season? They were number 1 and number 2?
Yeah, Kansas won, and that was one of the many things that happened to get LSU in that title game in 2007. Yeah. Pitt beating West Virginia, too.
All right. So the conference tournaments are this week. People are saying you guys Shane Perotti says you couldn't pay Cam Newton to go to Starkville. Well, we tried. $180,000 we tried, but Auburn paid a lot more.
I think
if you don't believe that, you suck your own dick.
It was like $250, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah. It was Cecil Newton's church got a lot of improvements. All right, so let's see. It's conference tournament week. I have a couple of questions, and then we're going to talk about Dak Prescott getting paid as well. Then we'll get to the picks. Here we go. When you think conference tournaments, when you think year in, year out, this is the best conference tournament bar none, which conference do you think?
All time?
All time.
Big East.
You always think about Big East in the Garden? I think it's.
I just think UConn. I just think like Kemba. I think UConn, Syracuse, like 6 overtime classics.
Yeah. Even before that, back in the 80s when they
I'm
got
also
three teams
I'm
in the
just
Final Four.
I'm from New York, so I guess it's easier for me to think that. But I just grew up around a lot of Syracuse fans. I mean,
No, I think it's.
I
UConn
believe I go
fans.
back and forth with Big East, and it's hard to say Big East because now it isn't what it was, and everything is nostalgia about Big East tournaments because it's not like that now. But ACC tournament is consistently very, very good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I was going to
For
say.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that gets in the way of me saying the ACC tournament, it's in Greensboro so often. It's in the backyard of North Carolina and Duke that it really puts the other teams at a hamstring.
It was in Brooklyn a couple of years ago.
It was in the Garden once, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in
Two.
Garden once. But yeah,
they've been doing the
Brooklyn
A10
too.
the A10 in Brooklyn, I think now.
I would say Big East, probably old school Big East, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, definitely.
I think consistently it's ACC, but Big East is like most memorable.
Yeah.
Almost.
When I was 13 years old, I remember it was when Ray Allen was at UConn, Kerry Kittles at Nova, John Wallace at Syracuse, and Iverson, Georgetown.
1996.
Yeah, that was. I remember. I mean, I didn't miss a game. 13-year-old me could not get enough of that tournament.
Yep.
I mean, those teams were.
It does suck like hearing that, and you're like, you're 2, and
I
it's
was
like,
2 years old in
fuck.
'96.
No, but 96.
Sounds
he-
right.
I was turning 2.
He's right. 96 was
That
Yeah, it was 1.
Ray Allen at UConn. It was Iverson at, and then if you go back even further, the Chris Mullins at St. John's, the
Yeah,
Patrick
that,
Ewings
that,
at Georgetown.
Yeah, that was when I was.
You know, in 1985, the Big East had 3 Final Four teams. 3 out of the 4
It was
were
Georgetown,
all from the Big
Nova,
East.
and-
It was St. John. I think it was St. John's, Villanova, and Georgetown.
Yeah, because
and
that was a championship game.
And Villanova beat Georgetown for the national title.
Gary
And-
Kane McLean, the point guard, used to toot up before
what
games.
was his name?
His name was Gary McLean, but they called him Gary Cocaine McLean.
What a great name that is.
Yeah.
Awesome name.
Yeah, like he used to
Yeah.
just rip it up before games, Nate.
And he won a national championship?
Oh, yeah.
Big Ev, you
Yeah.
mind if I
80s
start
were
calling
different
you
time.
cocaine? Even
No.
though just I can. Okay.
No, I wouldn't mind. No.
Big Ev, big cocaine.
Actually,
Big Ev.
we actually had a kid when I was a junior in high school. The senior that was a total whack job. He called me in the locker room and asked me to do cocaine with him, and I said no, thank you.
Really?
It was very
The
weird.
locker
called
room
you?
in high school?
In high school, it was very weird.
In a locker room?
Very
Well,
weird.
you know,
I
he
was
is
at
from New York.
a.
It was very strange
Didn't know we were gonna do
occurrence.
these stories.
I was
Yeah,
at a.
yeah,
sh-
yeah. You
You started talking about
was-
cocaine. I was like, well, that's my experience with cocaine.
My experience is that me and Quiggs were at a strip club about 3 years ago, and we're 2 girls that we went with, and they asked us to do it, and we said, both of us don't do it, so we went to the bathroom and just dumped a lot of it down the toilet and came back just going the entire time.
Well, my experience with it is always my dad would have to sit in the outfield of my little league games because he liked to sit in the truck and do cocaine. So
At least he
That
did
was
it in
fun.
the truck, though.
yeah, he did it in the truck. Well,
At least he came to your game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
most
sometimes
people don't come to the
he came
game.
about
He
3
could have been
times.
doing it on the stands.
Yeah, well, no, he wasn't allowed in the stands.
Even better.
That's even worse.
I mean, at least he still came when he wasn't even allowed in the
I
stands.
think I think sneaky the Big Ten tournament is worth discussing because they always have that Sunday finale, and that you're getting ready for the
show.
the selection show. You need something to get you there. And
Our
that,
show this year, by the way.
that Big Ten championship game always really helps you get there.
It does.
It's always like the late one, too, at 2 or
Yeah.
3, because they always have the SEC and the ACC. Or the
You'll have
SEC's
Bill
early.
Raftery there, and
Yeah.
Especially this year when it's like it means a lot. I think if it's not Michigan who wins it, it could mean a lot to some people.
that's why I've got a future on it. I'll just say it right now. My future on the Big Ten tournament. You write this one down, TJ, even though I already sent you the picks and you just did it digitally. Ohio State plus 685 to win the Big Ten. Here is my logic.
Wow.
Michigan doesn't need it. Illinois doesn't need it. Ohio State has been just as good as those teams all year, except late 4-game losing streak. They're desperate. They got to come out of this with momentum. Ohio State's going to win the Big Ten tournament plus 685. Big Ev, what do you think?
I said yesterday I'm not confident, but at the same time, we lost 4 in a row. 3 of them were to 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Got a bad draw in Purdue if we win the first game.
That's what I was looking
If we
at.
get over the Purdue hump, then I feel really good. That's a big game for us, I think, just momentum-wise. We've lost to them twice. I said we don't match up with them very well. But even though the second time we played them, we were winning the whole game and kind of just blew it at the very end.
Smitty version 2.0 says, B-Walk, Pac-12 in Vegas deserves to be mentioned. There's such an electric atmosphere. Despite the teams, the games are always good. Arizona, Oregon, Arizona, Washington, those are classics. I don't know if
No one's ever been excited for the Pac-12.
they just started the tournament like 15 years ago.
I
Yeah.
like that they have, though, that. What else is that in the Mountain West are both Vegas?
Yeah.
Like, this is like a sneaky. Everybody knows go to Vegas for the first weekend of March Madness, but there's multiple conference tournaments. I think there might be one more, even. that are in Vegas. Like, this is a great week to go to Vegas for the conference tournament week.
No, you're going, and how'd you pull this off? You're going to Denver?
Yeah, I wanted to go to Blackhawk. So, I mean, I asked about this like a month ago because I've been playing poker at that Ameristar in Blackhawk for like 10 years in Colorado. It's 30 miles west of Denver, and we got a $1 million sports book in there last year. So I've been wanting to go out there since I got hired here, and so I'm looking forward. Me and Playboy Marty are gonna go out there and do some content. A little going out west. I got some Colorado ties too, so I'm excited about it.
All right, so I asked you that question. Now I want to ask you this question. I saw this on Twitter. I can't remember who did it. Might have been ESPN, might have been somebody else. And if you guys discussed it yesterday, tell me to shut the fuck up. The question was, when you think of the NCAA tournament, whose name do you think of? Who's the player you think of very first? I say NCAA tournament, March Madness. What player pops in your mind? I have one. I'm curious to see. We've got 4 different backgrounds. We got a New York background. We have a Duke fan background.
I can guarantee we have the same one.
You think?
I think me and Big Ev have the same one.
I'll start with Mincy then.
Y'all gonna be surprised by mine, but it's a great story.
I say the NCAA tournament. Who do you think of?
I say Shabazz Napier because I had
UConn.
Yeah, no, and here's why. My bookie in 2013.
Don't say my bookie.
We don't.
I'm
not
allowed to say my bookie.
But this is like 7 years
My
ago.
friend.
My friend that had odds on the tournament. He had a misclick on his odds like midway through the year, and UConn was like looking at a 7 seed, a 6 seed at that point. They were supposed to be 100 to 1 to win the title at that point, and he had it listed at 300 to 1 on his site. And so I put $100 on it and hammered it.
Really?
Yeah, and I hedged some as they made the run, but the real odds were 100 to 1, and I had them 300 to 1 for 100 to win 30,000, and they won it.
Ooh.
So Napier,
So
that's
you won
like
30,000.
Well, no, I
off that.
hedged it. I was a little bitch and hedged back. I hedged back some
bitch.
in the
Just a little bitch.
in the final. I ended up making like 11 or 12K.
Still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean off $100, and it was all because I wouldn't have even taken them at 100 to 1, Brandon. It wasn't like I knew UConn was that good. I just saw, I was like, that's the wrong
You
odds.
just had to do it, yeah.
And I had to do it. And
All right.
then, yeah.
So I'm going to read some from the comments, and then I'll tell you mine. Logan C. Huck says Kimba Walker. Mike Sardella says Mello. How do you say Mello? He was only there one time. I know he won it.
I don't think Melo.
I went to that Final Four.
Zach Dixon says Adam Morrison. Him crying was kind of an iconic image when they lost to UCLA. Adam Morrison, JJ Redick battle. They never played in the tournament. Miles Simon and Mike Bibby. That run will never be duplicated. Beat 3 number 1 seeds. That's 1997 Arizona Wildcats.
Simon says championship.
So here's who I think of, and it's somebody I don't like. Didn't like him then. Hated him. Don't like him to this day. It's Christian Laettner, Duke. 1991. He's on the team that goes to the. First of all, in 1990, he hit a buzzer beater against UConn, and then 1991, they win the national championship over Kansas. And then 92, he hits a shot over Kentucky to win 104-103. I believe that was in New Jersey. I believe that was in the Meadowlands.
It was.
And then they beat Michigan for a national title. Christian Laettner is my answer for sure. That's who I think of. I hate it because I was rooting for Kentucky very hard back then for that. And then I think it was John Pelfrey, the worst defense ever on that shot.
Yep, didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. Just looked at him.
They didn't guard the inbound.
They didn't guard anything.
They didn't guard the inbound.
They just made it so easy. But it is Christian Laettner. That is my answer. A couple more from here. Kevin Ware. Oh, that's not. That's great.
Wrong. I actually, old office, I came into the office really hungover one day, and I was in the elevator, it's like looking down, and Christian Laettner walked in, and I shit myself.
Really?
That was the first time I was like.
So even though you weren't born yet.
I just know that obviously if you're a Duke fan, if you don't know Christian Laettner.
Somebody says Bryce Drew. That's a great one.
It never ends.
DeJuan Blair. No, that somebody legitimately said.
No, I believe it. It's just like every year, it's like the buzzer beater montage. I see that shot like 50 times.
Let's see. Christian Laettner. Memphis free throws. Ali Farouk-Manesh, Northern Iowa. These are some comments here. Tyler Hansborough. I don't really remember his tournament run. I know he won a national title.
They beat Michigan State. They beat the
It's
crap
just
out of
I don't remember him
Tyler
for the tournament. I just remember his whole career.
That's college basketball.
Yeah, he's more of a college basketball answer, not really a March. Like Ali Farouk-Manesh is 100% a March answer.
Yes.
Because he hit that shot.
What about Noah? I feel like that Florida back-to-back titles gets overlooked a lot. That Horford
really
Noah
does.
front line was insane.
But the problem is there was no standout. They were all good.
That's true.
Kemba Walker's I think is the number one answer. But
I don't think, but his was more of a conference tournament though.
I would have said that my honest answer, that's just what popped in my head. He just kind of embodies from me like the whole thing.
But Jimmer was a crazy one too.
Another one for me
Steph
too
Curry.
is Chalmers for me.
Curry's
Mario
one.
Chalmers.
I just think of that
Hits
shot.
that three
I
in
just think of that
2008.
shot a lot. It's Memphis.
Tyus Jones.
Have you
Grayson
have you
Allen.
said yours?
Mine personally was Shabazz Napier too. That was my first one. But I also Grayson Allen shot in the Final Four and was everything to me. And
Grayson Allen shot in the Final Four.
Yeah, that was everything.
That was everything.
I mean, he was a freshman, didn't really
Grayson
play
Allen's
that much.
such a douchebag.
He did have an awesome Final Four.
I will say
both those
both
games. In the
games.
championship game, he played really
And
well.
Tyus
too.
Jones was fucking unbelievable.
for a negative reason, I'll never forget the Chris Duhon half-court bank that cost me heaps on UConn. The famous one in 04.
You sound like you just like to bet on UConn.
yeah,
I do, but this day, yeah,
I
right.
do.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, I'm on them this year. They're looking good right now too.
Oh, somebody says T.J. Sorrentine. That was Vermont when they beat Syracuse, I believe.
I'll always thank Frank Kaminsky. Beating that Duke would have lost to Kentucky easily.
Oh, yeah.
that year.
Yeah.
Easily.
Well, no, you shouldn't thank Frank Kaminsky. You should thank John Calipari for being absolutely clueless on how to coach. He has the most talented team in the history of college basketball, and he loses to Frank Kaminsky and Sam Decker. They're fine
Shout out
team.
Sam Decker.
Fine team. You can't lose to that team if you got Devin Booker off the fucking bench. Like John Calipari doesn't get
Sam
enough.
Decker also in that tournament was absolutely unconscious.
Unbelievable.
He was good, but they had Karl Anthony Towns and Devin Booker. They
No,
had,
trust me. I hear you.
That's
Devin Booker was like the sixth man.
crazy.
right.
Which is crazy.
Wasn't
He's
that
the best
team
player.
where Calipari would sub 5 in,
Yes.
sub 5 out?
Yes.
Because they were so dominant.
Yeah.
Literally, because Booker
like-
was literally the one on the B squad.
I
was
think
like, I
that's
don't
the
know
best
who
team
to
in the
start.
history of college basketball, and they didn't win a title.
You know why? They didn't lose a game before
Exactly.
that.
I thought
They were
that
38.
too. I thought that. Too.
Yep. Thanks, Mincy.
You still got to beat Wisconsin. You lose to
All right,
Duke in
for
the final,
sure.
whatever. But you lose to Wisconsin. I remember it was 74-74 late in the game, and Cal had no idea how to get a basket, none whatsoever. And it was just that was the day I was like, this guy, he can get them, but he sucks.
But when Duke I got to Wisconsin,
It's like when you get
I knew that was easy.
It's kind of like when you got two quarterbacks, you got none. You had no guy to be like give, which it should have been Karl Anthony Towns, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, they had the guys.
He was
letting
unable.
the Harrison
but
twins
he was unable to pick like the guy. Be like, all right, you're taking the shot. I feel like there comes a weird point in the end of the game where it's like, when you got like four guys, you need to be like, all right, but of the four guys, who's the guy?
Richard Popeless says Chris Webber the biggest choke in college. See, I never believed that back then because the first year they ran up against Duke, who was going to beat anybody, and the second year they probably should have won it, but they were still sophomores. They were still young, and they of course had he had the timeout thing. He traveled before that. Nobody remembers that, but they got close to winning a national title and just didn't. I never really thought of it as choke. I guess that's what it is, though. It's the definition of it. Did you give yours, Big F?
Yeah, I said it's kind of like for me, it's almost like a Kemba / Shabazz, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So,
like I said, I know Kemba
is
isn't
UConn
the
only team that plays college basketball? All three of you said UConn players.
Like honestly, more even Kemba's popped my head. Like you said, it's not even for me. I feel like he just kind of embodies the whole thing.
My only problem with that is, I already said it, the Kemba step back happened in the Garden in the
No,
Big
totally
East
get it.
tournament.
It's just my honest answer. You said the name popped in my head. That was the
That's
one.
every
I
time.
can't I can't control. That's just what happened.
Zachary Ferguson with a good one says Sister Jean.
Remember Teen Cleves,
Marty's living.
Flintstones.
Sister Jean's
2000.
pissing me off.
Why does
man.
Sister Jean piss you off? It seems like come on.
$150 for Cameo.
That's a lot.
And
How much are you charging on Cameo?
And everyone, I would love to go on Cameo for like $1 and don't even do it.
So you just don't want to go on Cameo?
No, I don't. But it's also like, everyone's like, oh, she gives it back. Doesn't matter. You're still thinking that you're worth $150 being 101. What's the oldest person in the world right now? 118?
Maybe. I don't know.
That's too old.
Ask that person if it's too old.
I would love to.
You should get the oldest person on Bench Mob.
If anyone is out there, I'd love to talk to
My
them.
great grandmother's pushing. I think she's gonna be 100 next September.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
a fine
sure
age.
That's awesome. You got that in your
It's a
bloodline.
fine age.
The matriarch. She's never driven a car. Straight off the boat from Italy.
It's awesome. You got that
They didn't
bloodline.
have cars in Italy?
No, she when she came over, it's just kind of a thing. Like women just didn't really drive
Does it matter the order?
at that time.
All right. Finally, horse racing has a contest worth playing. Stable Duel brings more action with its fantasy-style game where you can play against others for big money payouts. It's similar to fantasy football, but it's not fantasy football. You can select your stable of 10 horses and watch the points rack up. There are also daily games with big cash prizes. It's easy to use, even if you're new to the sport. So download the Stable Duel app now and start playing right out of the gate. I got to tell you, every time I dive into the horse game, I think I'm a horse guy. It takes me about a week or something to get into it, but then when I get into the stable duel stuff, it is fun. You win money. It's awesome.
It's also nice, because you're not, and like me, you're a casual fan,
Right.
And you don't have to know exacta box and boxes. Just pick your 10. Pick your 10 horses.
Pick your horses.
I'll tell you what else is great about horses. The fact is, it's a 2-minute thrill. I mean, you just get that gambling rush. That's
just like sex.
Yeah, you get that quick hit. You know.
Yep.
Download the Stable Duel app now and start playing right out of the gate. That's StableDuel app. Check it out. It's wherever apps are. Go get the Stable Duel app. It's incredible. Okay.
Last time we talked about Duke, I swear, if they win 3 games, they're definitely in. Right? I was fighting with someone on Twitter today.
So it's Boston College and Louisville second
and then
game.
Florida State.
Okay.
They're definitely.
I don't know.
3 games. Yes.
God,
yes,
they're so
but-
far out. Like they're so
they're
bad.
not.
Like you keep out. Like they're bad.
No,
They're
but
bad.
you have to
do
be an
this
No, but you
They're
have to be.
11 and
You're
10,
an
like,
idiot.
they stink.
You're an absolute idiot if you don't think they end with 3 games. That's fucking retarded. It's dumb.
Everything they've put on
It is.
tape this year, everything they've
they
played
have
this
one,
year,
They
shows
literally
that-
have one decent win.
Have they won 3 games in a row this year? Maybe once.
Yes, they have. But I'm
won
just
4 in a row
telling
with
you,
Jalen Johnson.
you have to be an idiot to not think they get in with those 3 wins. That's insane.
I think if you're idiots, you think it's like 100% they'd get in by just beating Florida State essentially. Like you don't get points for beating Boston College, Louisville.
No,
I'll
but
give
that's
you
what
points.
I'm talking. Well, Louisville, you definitely get points. They're in the tournament. And second, yes, that's what I'm saying. Florida State right there is why you get in.
I don't think it's a definite. I don't think that makes.
That's
like they probably get the kicker because they're Duke. Like if they're a normal team, they definitely
That's
don't.
also what I'm putting into it. Yes.
I don't. The bracketologist said they need to win the ACC tournament.
I mean, we talked about they needed to win 2
Another
guy. I don't
of
think
those
his word-
last
I don't
3.
think his word's
we said
law, I'm
on
just
here,
saying.
they had Louisville at home, at Georgia Tech, at Carolina. They needed to win 2 or 3, and they won none of them.
I thank you for bringing that up.
I mean, that's
forgot.
because they're an awful basketball team. A good team doesn't
Yeah,
go 0-3 in those games.
So that is kind of. I know we're talking about Duke, but nothing they put on the court this year suggests they can win these 3 games. Nothing.
For sure, well, definitely one they'll win, but for sure, I understand.
I said these 3 games.
I
in a row.
understand.
Jesus, if they lose to
I
Boston
agree,
College today,
but
I
I'm
mean,
just saying. I was fighting with somebody on it, and can we all agree? Do you like Joe Lunardi?
It's fine.
I'm indifferent.
I think his job's overrated because
So overrated.
Because it's he got 63 out of 64. Well, first of all, most of them there's so many automatics,
Yeah.
and there's so many no-brainers that you're really only picking between 6, 7
a handful.
teams.
It's literally a handful.
It's a handful of teams, and you should be able to, if you're plugged in, you ought to be able to get the majority of that. So really, what he's doing, he's going 5 out of 7 every year or 6 out of 8.
Agreed.
Good, but he's not going 64 out of 66 or whatever. It's just different.
I agree. I don't.
But it's a great
Great
just
gig if you get it.
Just like Mel Kiper and they don't Todd McShay, they don't have to be right. They just have to generate conversation. He doesn't have to be right either. He just has to generate this conversation.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a great job. And Joe Lunardi's been in it forever. I don't see him unless he dies. He's not giving that up. That's free money.
No, it's a fucking great gig, like you just said.
I'd love to see. Actually, Marty, I'd love to see you take over for Joe Lunardi.
I think I could do it.
But you have
Marty would put him in a body bag because Marty would get 62 of them right.
you have to change your name to Marty Lunardi.
Oh, wow.
That's a good name.
That is
Maybe,
a great.
you know
That's
what?
a much better name than Marty Mush.
That might
Actually,
need to be
just do it anyway.
This
You might just do it.
week.
Right.
Or just this week before the
that
bubble.
should be your content
That's
this week.
easy.
Marty Lunardi.
There we go. Easy.
And
Done.
I get 10%.
Of
You don't get anything.
I
but
got $0. So
10
no, sure.
I get 10%.
Deal.
Deal.
I'll be Marty Lunardi, and I'm gonna release my bracket before him.
Okay. Well, how are you going to
But see, you don't even need to say the bracket. All you got to do is just say what teams are in.
Yeah, that's true.
Way easier.
Very true.
Like Brandon said, there's literally 55 gimmies.
Ryan Lane says Lunardi is the 35th ranked best bracket predictor. There's 34 other bracket predictors.
That
in the
news to
world?
me.
He just owns the space. Though.
I'm sure there's obviously you consider the Rothsteins of the world, I'd put them in the category, but when you think strictly brackets,
Johnny Boyle says Marty promised to quit talking about Duke. How do you let this slide, Brandon? Did you promise to quit talking about Duke?
Probably.
I'm sure he has. In a moment of passion, I'm sure he has.
Probably did. You know how that goes. You say something, you're like, why the fuck did I say that?
I do it all the time.
Honestly, Marty somehow agreed with that 3-game stretch that Ben brought up. That he basically agreed if they don't win 2 of them, their season's over. They lost all 3, and he's still in. All 3, 0 for 3.
But then and also you just know if they win 3, they're gonna get in.
Maybe.
So they'd be 14-10 with a win over Florida State at that point.
Basically just wins Florida State and Virginia. The only 2 wins that you can hang your hat
But then
on.
there's 2 other. There's Clemson and Louisville are in the tournament. Those are good wins.
Speaking of Lunardi, does he have them in the first 4 out right now? Second four out?
Yeah.
I
it's
think
like
they're
he's-
outside of that.
No, they're in that bubble area.
Maybe
Them and Ole
maybe
Miss are
second.
neck
I
and
think they
neck.
might be maybe second four out.
Ole Miss still in the bubble?
I
thought when they lost to Vandy, that was
second
it.
four. They won. They had 2 wins last week. They're 10-8 SEC. So they're second four out.
If they can make a run in the SEC
Man, they got South Carolina. They got LSU second. They got to beat LSU to have even a chance. I think they got to make the championship game. I don't think they can do it.
Let's slide through some picks here early, and we'll discuss the picks. That way, we'll have it. I wanna just tell you guys one more pick I've got for conference tournaments, and I know it feels like a basic bitch pick to me. It just feels like something that makes sense to say out loud. I don't see how Kentucky plus 1,500 isn't a great pick in the Southeastern Conference.
It was 30-1 yesterday.
But today on the Barstool Sportsbook app, it's just 15-1, and it is absolutely something that, because it's in Nashville, and whatever fans are there, it's going to be 99% Kentucky fans. They're the only ones that care enough to go through the COVID stuff, and if they win one, then it's going to start rolling downhill for them. I believe they'd have Alabama second round. They can beat Alabama.
Bama's cold shooting.
Bama's cold shooting. If they beat Alabama, look out. Kentucky's going to march through. I think Kentucky plus 1,500 with the tradition, with the fan base, is a great pick.
I was 30-1 yesterday.
Yeah.
We were talking about it here yesterday. I just missed it.
Oh, you guys already talked about it.
That was like all of our favorite one yesterday.
I think I've decided.
It's a basic bitch.
I think my favorite one of all the conference tournaments right now, I think, is Georgia Tech 10-1.
They were
I think
20-1.
I think that right now is they're the hottest team. I think the ACC is wide open. That's my one, 10-1. 10-1 in the St. John's 20-1.
Nicholas Wallach says Kentucky is trash. True, they are a trash team.
But don't
They're
you
awful. They're badly coached. But SEC's not very good.
Don't you think that
No,
Bama's
Bama's a really vulnerable one.
you should take both Seton Hall and St. John's?
I don't hate the logic that they play each other. They're in the good side of the bracket and they play each other.
Play each other.
So you're guaranteed one of them's going to need 2 wins.
Yeah.
So I actually, off the clubhouse, I'll read these later, but there was a couple of there was one future pick that Mark and Philly gave, and we all respect Mark and Philly here, right? So he gave Arkansas to make the Final Four plus 1150. And they've been really great over the last. I hate making a bet like that before you see the brackets. You don't know what their ride's going to be. But Arkansas at plus 1150 with Musselman is a great pick, too.
There's another bet on the Barstool Sportsbook app. They boosted Arkansas was plus 320 to win the SEC, and they boosted it to plus 420 to win the SEC tourney. That's probably good value, too.
It's wild to me that Arkansas is that low to make the Final Four.
Yeah. Well, I just
like
don't
Wisconsin's plus 900. I think they kind of stink.
Well, I think the Big Ten has so much respect, though.
Dude, Arkansas went from unranked
They were
to
1-4 in the SEC.
like that, but them, they're just hot right now. And they have legit NBA talent.
I almost think they're too hot.
So last night's
It's
results.
fair. 1150 for them is crazy.
Last night's results: Rico Bosco, who doesn't show up because of his deal, was 2-0. I was 1-1. Somehow I'm the highest ranking member here because I went 1-1 last night. Because Ben Mintz went 0-1. Marty Mush went 1-2. Big Ev 2-4. Big Cat 1-4. Ben Mintz is leading. He is plus 8 units right now. He's 28-20. I'm in second, 21-16, up 5 units. 3 guys in positive units though, because Big Ev is 35-31, up 1 unit. Marty Mush down 3.2 units. Rico Bosco down 5 units, and Big Cat down 7 units. So there we go. I will lead us off with some picks. I love Duke. Duke minus 13 against Boston College.
Hell yes.
Duke is not used to playing on this Tuesday. I feel like that's got to piss them off. It's got to get them ready. And Boston College just flat out stinks as hard as a team can stink. Duke minus 13 against Boston College. I like Wake Forest plus 8 against Notre Dame because Notre Dame had the big win against Florida State at home. I think that's juicing them a little bit. They're not that good. And Wake Forest with Steve Forbes in his first year, he's trying to build a culture, a program. I think it's a great opportunity for him to get a good win. I like Wake Forest plus 8 against Notre Dame. Bryant minus 6.5 against Mount St. Mary's. That's just a you've been good to me pick all year. Bryant's been very good to me. I love Bryant over there to beat Mount St. Mary's minus 6.5. And I'm dipping my toe into hockey because I've got to get into it more. I've got to learn it more going forward for this year. Devils money line plus 170 against the Caps. And that's strictly on line movement. It was like plus 190. It got up to plus 165. Now it's plus 170. Ohio State plus 685 to win the Big Ten, and Kentucky plus 1,500 to win the SEC. Those are my 6 picks for today. Let's see who's next. It will be Ben Mintz, who somehow at 0-1 was better than Marty Mush at 1-2.
That's where gambling math pisses me off.
Well, my logic, though, seriously, I know that we have got an insane buffet of games coming all week, and so I didn't like the board last night. I'm going to hold back because I'm going to fire like crazy the rest of this week.
We have an insane what?
It's like a buffet of games. It's like all you can eat.
I just want to go through the real quick. How do you say that word?
Buffet.
Okay, how do you say it?
Buffet.
Buffet.
It's not buffet. New
I always
Orleans,
say buffet.
They say buffet.
I put more. I say more buffet. He went buffet. Buffet.
Yeah, buffet.
Buffet. So you're going with the short first syllable, longer second syllable. Buffet. I'm
going to the buffet.
It's going to be all you can eat.
I'm going to the. Where are you going? I'm going to go eat the pizza.
Am I saying
buffet.
it right? I'm saying it right?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you not see the difference? There's subtle difference.
I see
Subtle difference. It's like
I say it it's quick, like just buffet.
Right. You get that B right out of the buffet.
There's so many. I mean, that guy Chris DiStefano when he said Tupperware and it's Tupperware. It's crazy.
Buffet. TJ, say it.
Buffet.
There you go. That's the New Orleans.
That's Phoebe's last name.
That's how New Orleans says it.
All right, go ahead.
All right, 3 picks. I got under 136.5 in Pitt, Miami. I think it's 2 crappy teams playing a day game that's going to be ugly, boring, and low scoring. I almost took Pitt, but Capel being 1-9 in conference tourneys ran me off. I took Manhattan by 2.5 as my other pick, and then I took Oakland +2 against Cleveland State, and that's just because it's kind of a rat line. Oakland's 10-10 on only a 2-point underdog. It's 16-4 Cleveland State. Cleveland State got lucky last night. They were down 11 with 10 left and came back and covered. So something about that feels a little weird. I got 3 plays today, and then we're going to have a lot more the rest of the week. Oh, and Syracuse 50-1 long shot ACC. Just a flyer lotto ticket, but they're the 9 seed. I feel like they've got a shot against Virginia more than people think. That's it.
It is March Madness time. We're making up for last year's tourney getting canceled by going bigger and harder this year. Luckily, our favorite sports drink, Body Armor, just came out with a new sports drink plus caffeine called Edge. It's got 100 milligrams of caffeine and 1,000 milligrams of electrolytes to keep you going through the last buzzer or finish line. Plus, it's got antioxidants, B vitamins, and no artificial sweeteners. Sounds like something I absolutely need to be drinking more of because it sounds very healthy, and I am quite not. It has no flavors or dyes. It's more than a sports drink. It's Body Armor Edge. Our favorite sports drink, Body Armor, which I am drinking right here, is in the game, and they're fantastic. I drink more Body Armor than I drink anything in my life.
Do you see the new flavors?
Yeah, it's Power Punch and Berry Blitz.
Great names.
I want that Berry Blitz in my mouth right now.
It's Body Armor Edge too. It gives you the edge for the day.
Power Punch. No,
I'm aware of the name for it.
Yeah, no.
You want me to get back to the?
Just keep reading.
What'd you say?
So the Power Punch is coming in ping pong and still streams later.
I know that you're going to beat me. I don't even know why I'm playing.
I know.
I'm an X mistake guy and you're no miss guy. It's stupid. I can't beat you in ping pong.
I know. I was going to say.
Did you have something to do with this?
No, I didn't do anything with it.
I let you sit in this chair for a week.
Look, I got hot in Stillstream Stadium. They paid the people like all the weird memes they're doing with me running around.
Well, my other option was you sitting in this chair.
Yeah, fucking
terrible idea.
Great. What's the? Yeah.
Can I finish this?
Well, you didn't.
I would like. Well, I am. Learn more at drinkbodyarmor.com. Their flavors: Berry Blitz, Tropical Chaos, Power Punch, and Orange Frenzy. Orange Frenzy sounds delicious. Okay, you don't care.
It does.
drinkbodyarmor.com. They're the best.
Before I get to my picks, what's the one saying that would make you rich if it gave you $1 every time?
I had the right answer.
Big Evs was right.
Mine was the right answer.
Let's go. Yeah.
The
right
and
answer.
Hanks were definitely right.
Because even though I'm a coined let's go guy, everyone says it
Can I just say something? I want to complain about our commenters real quick. First of all, our commenters have been great today. There's just one guy who either wants to work here or wants to suck the dick of people who are working here. Connor Patterson comments on every ad read every day. He says, another terrible ad read. Stephen Shea needs to get on you about these. You don't fucking work here, Connor Patterson. You don't work here. You don't do anything. Just, you don't have to tell us about our ad reads. I know I'm not great at ad reads. I'm doing my best I can. But I love Body Armor Edge. Also, Connor Patterson, suck the bottom of my dick. Dickhead. Go ahead.
What?
Whose picks? It's Big F. Go ahead, Big F.
No, it's me.
Go ahead, Marty Mush.
All right. So I'm going Duke -13. Same reasons. I'm scared about Pitt -3. I'm starting to come around.
I liked it, and I switched under.
Do you want to do it? Or
I'm too late. But my picks are locked in. I'm the biggest sucker of all. I got them first half in game.
Yeah, I'm a sucker
I'm
too.
Mr. Sucker.
Pitt -3. I got Wake Forest +8, and I think Gonzaga is going to want to wipe the floor with BYU tonight. I think
they're going to want to. But
BYU had an OT game.
Yeah, I think they will.
OT game last night for BYU too.
Yeah, and I think BYU's just, there's just like, why does everyone think BYU's just like so like they should be in the tournament so easily?
Well, they're 20-5.
Yeah, but like they're just that. Everyone in that conference is so bad besides Gonzaga.
I don't know. That's the answer though. They're 20-5. They've
no, I understand. But so is like say like a random team like Winthrop, when they go lose one game, like Drake's 25-3, they might not get in.
Yeah. It's a good question. It's a fine question.
No, that's a great discussion, I feel like.
The Gonzaga thing, so they beat BYU by 9 at BYU, and Gonzaga shot like crap from the field and still won on the road by 9. I feel like that was the one BYU would have gotten if they could have.
One of the picks today was I'm trying to see who it was. Stephen Pancrazio on the Clubhouse said BYU team total over 70.5. Last time they played, they scored 68, and they only scored 3 points in the first 8 minutes. And they feel like it's going to be a track meet, and BYU plays at pace. And they're, who are you talking to? Oh, now you're going to be playing Jack McCarthy, our large Adam's apple friend.
You going to practice right now?
Line.
Yes, you're going to.
So he is going to practice.
This is a warm-up. We're having a meeting, a video production.
Okay. We're not worried about you, Smitty. We're worried about him. Marty said, "Are you going to practice?" He said, "No, we're just going to warm up." That's practice.
No. Because he needs the warmth.
You're not warming me. I'll be stepping in my office.
What, y'all going to spoon?
Maybe after.
All right. Good luck, guys. Good luck, Smitty. Who are you playing today?
He's playing Big T. They had a show. Smitty lost a heartbreaker in 3 games last week. It's a revenge match.
Oh, yeah. Anytime we can get Big T on TV, you got to do it. All right. So I wish I had sent him to get me some Chick-fil-A today, or paid for his Chick-fil-A so he could do that. Do we have any more picks?
Good save.
Thanks. Go ahead, Big Ev.
I'm a sucker. Pitt first half, -1.5, game 3. Miami's going to win this game.
5 minutes in, we're going to look at each other and say we're fucking idiots.
I'm telling you now, Miami is going to win the basketball game.
You could pick Miami. You could stop right now.
It's already locked
But
in.
I'm locked. I was in Jersey this morning. The picks are locked in.
All right.
I can't change them. Duke, BC over 152. I got Elon +4 and Oakland +2.5. They're the two kind of like miracle teams. I feel like one of these teams, they're both kind of ratty lines. One of these teams has got to win. Then I got Bryant -5.5. Gonzaga first half -7.5. That's my card.
All right, let me go ahead and give you all the clubhouse picks every day at 11:30. If you're on this chat right now, thank you for watching. We appreciate it, except for Connor Patterson, who can suck my dick from the back. Every day on Clubhouse, I show up and I let you guys give me picks. I've got them right here. Mark and Philly, Arkansas Final Four +1150. Lee Holbert, Cal State Northridge -2 against Long Beach State. Multiple people called this pick in, boys. Multiple people said Cal State Northridge -2 against Long Beach State. Paul Slater was the other guy. Does that make you feel confident in it? 2 people. Cal State Northridge.
I'll be honest, no.
But you're usually the guy that says, "Oh, if I hear that pick, I got to take it." That's 2 people calling it.
Was there a reason?
Yeah, they like Cal State Northridge better than Long Beach. I think Long Beach just dismissed their best player.
That's a reason.
I don't think that's a reason to jump
something
on.
it's something I
That's
need.
reason. That's a square thing to go opposite.
Yeah, I like the other team.
Christian Bond says Duke, Boston College over 151.5. Stephen
like
Pancrazio, BYU team total over 70.5. Eric Jensen, Gonzaga -14 against BYU. Zach McGowan, Notre Dame -8 against Wake Forest. That one got called in twice. Brandon Webb, Flyers puck line -1.5 against the Sabres. Anthony Craven, Blackhawks money line. Jacob Pollock, Oakland money line over Cleveland State +125. Neil Sharma, Blackhawks money line. Sean Kasecki, Oakland +2.5. Notre Dame -8.5 against Wake, or 8 against Wake. Michael Zatoni, Duke -13. Xander Rappaport, Illinois +350 to win the Big Ten tournament. Dylan Furman, Elon money line, Mount St. Mary's money line +738 parlay. Hugo Dutre, Borussia. Zah, help me out. Borussia +209 money line and Juventus +209 money line. Have I said both of those correct?
Yep, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
I didn't say it like that.
Dortmund,
It sounded wait. Can you say the first team again?
So there's 2 Borussias. I thought you were talking about Mönchengladbach, but there's Dortmund.
There's Dortmund, right? I know that one. I didn't know there was 2.
Yeah, so Borussia Mönchengladbach is playing Man City in the
No, that's not the one he wanted. He wanted the other one, I
so
think.
Dortmund is the one.
Yes. And then Juventus +209.
Juventus, yep.
Yep. That's who Ronaldo plays for.
There you go.
Silent J.
You don't bet against Ronaldo in March.
Bingo.
Ever.
How old is Ronaldo?
34? 34? I don't know.
I feel like he's been around forever.
I know.
How many
He
women?
is
How many women?
36.
Still as handsome as ever.
in his life? How many women?
It's up to him.
If I set
He
the over,
chooses.
if I set the over under at 1,500, you going over?
I was going over. I was going to say about 2,500.
All right.
Is he just a total coup sound?
Oh, I don't know. Well, he's a good-looking guy. He's
No, I'm saying I said he could set his own number.
over under.
Him getting pussy is like
No, I
having a
understand.
blank check.
I understand he can do whatever, but I'm setting the over and under for us plus 2450 or 2450. You going over under?
I think it's close to that number because you gotta count the 5-somes, the 6-somes as one.
All is
That's
one?
all is. That's
Yeah.
not just one. That's the count.
No, that definitely counts as 5. Whatever number of women was in that.
Right.
I think he had to penetrate all of them, but
No, you could do cunnilingus.
I don't think that
No,
counts.
I
as,
think-
you,
yeah, I
I think you have
think
to
he's right.
penetrate them to count as like I slept with
So if
her.
you eat someone out, it doesn't count.
No.
No.
I'm not
So if
counting
I
that.
come home, I had a threesome last night, but I only ate someone, you're gonna be like, oh,
All right.
pussy.
I'm not. I'm gonna say you fucked 2 of them,
All
and
right.
the other one you ate her pussy.
I think it's yeah. All right, so
It's still here.
no.
That's what it is.
So somebody says major under because of his wife. I didn't realize he was married.
Well, that's
How long
I
has he
was
been
gonna
married?
say under.
Way before,
I was gonna say
too.
under just
How
to kind
long's
of
he
go
been married?
contrarian. I didn't know he was
know.
married either, but
Okay. All
I
right.
feel like there comes a time you almost like kind of like a Justin Bieber.
Maybe they
Like you
have
just
an
kind of
agreement.
you've had all the vagina in the world. Now he's got a nice one. He's settled down.
Okay. All right. It's a worthy discussion, I think.
No, I think
Very
so
worthy.
too. I think so too.
Probably our most worldly one we'll ever have.
And Messi, his over under is 13. Feel like he's had sex with a lot less women.
Messy?
Yeah.
Because he's messy?
Well, not. I wouldn't call. That's not a verb, or that's not an adjective. I just feel like he doesn't seem like the kind to go out and get a lot.
But see, that's the one that does.
Yeah.
You
The one
think
that
so?
you don't think, that's
Yeah.
the one he's dogging like 4 or 5 a day.
Don't say dogging though. That's
Who do you think he is?
That's
Who-
just a New York thing. I
who's
say
the-
dogging all the time.
Really?
He just takes it to the net. Yeah, he just forces
he
it.
kind of
I
takes
don't
it
feel- I
ownership of
always
it.
I'm
say
saying he doesn't
dog.
force it, but
I always say
I use
dog.
it for only certain. Lionel Messi is dogging
Somebody
these women.
says, "What's the over under on Stu Feiner?"
He claims 1.
No, he claims. I thought he claims a
He
bunch.
claims like $4,000.
Yeah, but then he also says I met my wife when I was a virgin, and that's the only woman I've ever had sex with. He said that on record.
I don't think.
He also said he's been to a bunch of orgies.
Yeah. Okay. Stu Feiner. When did you get Stu Feiner in here?
We do.
Well, we all have to go to dinner. He said he wants
Yeah.
us to. We have to go to Farmingdale.
And last pick was T.J. Hitchings, Boston College money line. But I don't know
pick.
if I should even say that because he just is. This is a pick show, and you're not actually going to pick that. You're just doing that because of Marty.
You want a real pick?
Yeah.
So, as a disclaimer, I found this on TikTok, but I saw this guy that ran stats on the last 20 March Madness winners, and the way he broke it down is that 19 out of 20 shared the same 4 statistical barriers,
Yeah.
and only 5 teams in the country right now have all 4 of them.
All right. What are the teams?
Michigan, Virginia, San Diego State, BYU, and Liberty.
Okay, that is not the team. The
That
5 teams I
sounds-
thought
So
I
that
would
ma-
So
hear.
you're saying you
But
like
that
Michigan to
basically
win it
you
all?
like Michigan
You
or
like Michigan.
Virginia,
Right.
I listen.
and I hate Virginia
I kind of like Virginia this year because
everyone's out on them.
everyone's out, but there's that been there factor, and this is going to be a wide open ass tournament. Virginia makes a lot of sense.
Do you want
It's
the
one of most
stats?
exciting I've been for a tournament.
So what are the stats? I've been
It's,
saying like defensive efficiency or something.
It's over 37% from 3, over 70% from the free throw line. Opponents score less than 71 points per game, and you have less than 14 turnovers per game.
How did he
It's
arrive
Makes
at
a lot of
those,
sense.
at those
19
4
of the
stats?
last 20
Yeah.
March Madness winners have those.
You
those stats.
you shoot the ball well, you play good defense, and you're not sloppy with the ball.
Yeah, Gonzaga
good guard
doesn't
play.
have the
Good
3-point
guard play.
percentage. Baylor doesn't have the free throw percentage. Iowa doesn't have the opponent's points per game. Illinois doesn't have the free throw percentage. So like, there's only 5 teams that fit that marker.
So the free throw percentage is what kept Memphis from winning the national title
Yes.
13 years ago.
and maybe Kentucky at some point.
And I love when Coach Cal, before in that March, he was like, "The free throws aren't going to matter, guys. Free throws aren't going to matter." And then
why the
they
fuck
lost
would you
because of
tell
free
me that,
throws.
TJ? This is why I hate
You want me to
this
text
show.
it to you, Marty?
No,
I mean,
don't.
but
because
listen.
I know because it makes a lot of sense, and also if you think about it, Virginia, and I know Virginia played in obviously a down conference, still better than like what San Diego State and BYU did, but like Michigan.
I mean, let's be honest. The list of 5, there's 2 teams that could probably win the national title out of that list.
Yeah.
Virginia's in it, and Michigan's in it.
That's what I'm saying. They did that in 2 good conferences, like San Diego State and all them did in shitty conferences.
Michigan makes a lot of sense.
And before he said that list, I don't think anyone. If you said to everyone on this panel right now, "Can Virginia win it all?" I think we all might have said no.
I said yes a couple of weeks ago. I think Virginia is one of the rare teams in this particular tournament who's got the experience that they could do it. And I know there's a bunch of different guys, but there's a mindset. Villanova as well before they lost their great player.
Gillespie, yeah.
But Michigan, they've been so close so many times. They play for national titles. Them being in this group makes me think Michigan very hard.
I just still don't like Virginia. I really don't. I just think that they're off. But I could see it. I understand your point.
I still love.
I've been
At
off
home
them all
lost to
year.
NC State.
I think the future's on. I'm
I
going
mean,
to put it high.
they lost to Duke.
I'm going to put in Gonzaga, I believe, because I still think Gonzaga's going to win the national title. But they lack the 3-point percentage.
Yeah, they
What's their
shoot
3-point percentage?
36.1.
So they're
Very close.
They're within a percent. Yeah, that could
That's
they
fair.
could very well change that by selection.
that
Sunday.
could be an outlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Andrew Hughes says West Virginia almost beat Gonzaga, was leading most of that game, and literally should have beat Baylor. Well, there's no such thing as should have beat anybody.
Yeah,
You either beat them or you don't. There's
yeah.
no. You can't literally should have beat somebody. That's not literally doesn't fit there.
You could have, should have beat somebody every night.
Because should have is an opinion, and opinions aren't literal at all.
It's dumb.
Somebody says Jeter or Ronaldo. As far as the women, oh, Dak got his money.
Yeah.
Dak, 4 years. Dak is going to make so much money because it's 4 years. He's going to be 31 when this contract's up. If he,
That's insane.
it's good for the team and for him. If he plays well and earns the contract, he's going to get another one. And if it doesn't work, then Dallas is out of it in 4 years. So
And he's
it's
getting
like,
like half the money in year one.
Yeah, he's getting
That's
back in the bonus.
crazy.
He's getting
Good for him.
75 million. And
Getting hurt was the best thing that ever
but
happened.
this is the new world. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of the next couple of guys that'll get off their rookie contract. Like Justin Herbert in 3 years will be the highest paid
Oh,
Joe
quarterback
Burrow,
ever.
Joe
Herbert.
Burrow, if he comes back healthy.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert's going to get paid.
I'm adding Gonzaga minus 14 to my pick central card. I just wanted that.
Why?
Because BYU, the overtime thing last night, I think they're going to get rolled.
All right. Well, thank you for welcoming back, boys. And Mintz, once again, thank you for doing a great
man.
job last
Appreciate
week. I'll see you at ping pong. See everybody else later. The Yak is up next on the Barstool YouTube channel.